What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at Python Fitting Assistant, Python Fitting Tool, whatever you want to call it. It's a fitting program designed for EVE Online ship fitting. As you know, previously you weren't able to theory craft fits and such in EVE because it didn't have a built-in thing for that. You just kind of had to play it by ear, or you were just good at fitting ships. Now they have a virtualization thing that's pretty slow and clunky, so I still use Python. I used to use EFT more because it was faster and smoother and cleaner, but he stopped updating it, so Python it is. So we're going to do a rattlesnake PvP fit today. I'm thinking solo, small gang, because the guy in particular doesn't ever join fleet, so I assume he does solo or small gang. So first thing you want to do is open it up. Obviously, go to fittings, pick your ship, battleship, or rattlesnake. That'll be in pirates. So click yes. Click the check mark. Come on, you trashy thing. There we go. It's a little clunky, but it's not bad. So first thing we're going to do, obviously, I already know what the bonuses are, but you always want to take a look and kind of build your ship around your bonuses so that you can take it every advantage you can. It's got 4% shield bonus, that's really good per level. It's got 10% to kinetic and thermal, which this means you can only do. You can use other flavors and missiles, but you should probably use those just because you get the 50% level 5. 275% bonus to sentry and heavy drone damage and hit points. That's insane. So the first thing we want to do is get a baseline for DPS and slap in combat drones, heavy attack drones, Ogre 2s. I prefer Ogre 2s over any kind because they track well and they do really good DPS. But you should always have a few different flavors. Some sentry drones wouldn't hurt either. Sentry drones don't do as much DPS as heavy drones though, so we're just going to use heavies as a baseline. Go ahead and you can activate your drones by clicking the little X, and you get 475 DPS in the readout area. Here you got all your readouts, speed, and targeting, whatever. Now we're going to work on the drone damage. I think we're going to go ahead and use 2 drone damage. Yeah, 700, almost 700 DPS. Obviously, without perfect skills, you're going to be getting about 600 or so. That's perfect. My drone skills are okay, I guess. They're not the best. I can use Tech 2 heavies, but that's about it. Tech 2 mediums. I'm never really into drones, so. Alright, so let's work on some tank now. We're going to drain damage amplifier, damage controls. Pretty important to have in any ship, and these last 3 will probably be used for either fitting assistance or missile assistance. I'm thinking missile assistance, just because we have 5 missile slots, so we can put some rapid heavies on here at some point. Because what? I mean, torpedoes, cruise missiles suck, so it's pretty straightforward. Anyway, shield. So we're gonna play with the. So we got some shield resist here. In this column, we're shield tank. So 30% EM, 44% thermal, 58% kinetic, 65% explosive. Shoe. It seems to have a pretty good cap regen, kind of. So we'll start with the boosters. X large ancillaries. I'm gonna try for 2, obviously. You always want to try for 2 XLASBs in the battleship. It's pretty easy to fit normally. The only problem is they're really heavy on the CPU. I mean, you see that. I just took up half my ship's CPU with just those 2 modules, and then you still gotta have room for E-War and whatever else, what have you. Propulsion. So basically putting on battleship basics, man. Large jump drive, that's your GTFO button, or your no-scope module, whatever you prefer. You can get into trouble and out of trouble with that mod, basically. And then I'm thinking an afterburner just because scrams. If you're scrammed, you're fucked. Your afterburner might be able to get you out of trouble. Use the meta, the YS8, which is the meta prop, which uses less CPU. Obviously, we want that because we're using a lot of CPU right now. What do you know? So that gives us some rep, which isn't bad. It looks like we got. Hang on, let me. So PYFA doesn't seem to like to put the charges in for you, so you got to put them in. There we go. So 770 DPS. It's kind of bad. I mean, that's without resist, right? So let's put some resist on it. So we want to put some shield hardeners. And that gets us pretty good. I'm thinking, do I want to scram in a web? Well, it's a matter of personal preference, really. You've got Ogre 2s which track, you know, cruisers and down, you know, up to, you know, battleships fairly well. But you've got some of the other stuff that doesn't, like the Praetors. They track like ass, and I mean it, literal ass. You can't hit the broadside of a fucking barn with Praetors. At least I can't. I don't know. Some people seem to have better luck with it. I guess if you put a lot of tracking in, it'll be fine. Anyway, so we got 1,000 right here. Let's go throw some rigs in real quick. Let's stop that tank fit. So we'll go into shield rigs, large shield rigs, which is battleships. We're going to want to use Tech 2 Shield EM, I think, to balance it. And then one thermal. And that gives us about 70% across the board. I'd like to have 70%. You always shoot for 70% across the board. 70% across the board is pretty good. See, I got an EM, a little bit of an EM hole, which I'm thinking I'm just going to fill instead of having a web, but I'm not entirely sure. Because it's stable, so I don't need any cap stuff. So we're probably going to want to go with a resistance. So you get these are your active hardeners, right? So these take cap and cycle and stuff like that. So then you got shield resistance amplifiers, which are basically just inactive mid slots. They don't take up much CPU. You know, they're fairly cheap. So I'll just throw a faction one in there. It's cheap. 17 CPU, gotta like it. And then I'm gonna go with a scrambler because obviously you don't want shit micro warp driving away from you. Most of the time in a stand-up fight, I've found when you're battleship brawling, stuff doesn't wake to warp off. I don't know what it is, but they die a lot. Even I've had stuff not even be pointed and they just die instead of warping off. But to scram helps get close stuff, which is what you want. You want slow and close stuff when you're in a battleship. You're not going to be able to reach out and touch this shit without getting your drones all killed. So that's a pretty good mid-slot layout. I'm liking it. I got an extra rig here that I can use for whatever. I'm thinking kinetic or a missile rig because we got 1500 DPS HP a second, and that's, you know, that's, you don't want to be doing that. So ideally you're gonna want 750 because you only want to run one of these at a time if at all possible. Because they run for about 45 seconds. I think that's about accurate. About 45 seconds, and when you reload, you have a minute down. So if you can have a 15-second gap where you're reloading, then that's fine. But it's really hard to have both. So I don't have a lot of CPU, so that's a bit of a problem. So I'm either going to do a rig CPU or a low slot CPU because I can already tell I'm 80% yet. I still haven't even put the missile launchers on it. Doesn't specify, so I guess it's just any missile. It's kind of vague, but so we're going to go obviously rapid heavies. I can use Tech 2s. Metas are about the same. Yeah, see, there goes my CPU. You know, I could just do a rig. Though I kind of want to do a heavy nuke. So let's go ahead and throw some Scourge Fury in there. Kinetic Scourge Fury. That's respectable. 552 DPS. I mean, that's not bad. That's still gonna fucking hurt. I mean, what's the volley? It's just almost a 2k volley. That's not bad though. Alright, let's. So this is what I'm thinking. Because we're going to be using ogres, we're going to want a little bit more tracking. So we're going to do a tracking enhancer in the lows. And a ballistic control for some extra DPS. If it's feasible. I hope it is, because that ballistic control will give me... We'll see here in a second. Why? Oh, here we go. Fit. Go on! Oh my god. Really? Here we go. Almost 700 DPS missiles. That's, you know, for missiles, that's respectable. You know, missiles are slow, so this thing's gonna hurt any way you look at it. Alright, so we got our last low slot. Obviously, the only thing that we can really put in there is a CPU low slot. As much as I hate... Oh, you bastard. 7 CPU over. Alright, so now we just look at the fit, see what we can meta, and see what we can't. So basically when I say meta, meta means put a T1 module that's almost as good as a T2 module on. Like a drone, a meta drone amplifier. But I think those are pretty expensive, and same with these. Actually, I think the drone ones are pretty cheap. So we're going to go ahead and look at that. Best part about PYFA is it has a built-in price checker. Because that's what? 7 over, so that'll be, oh, that's just barely low enough. Price? Current value. That's different. Alright, let's throw it on there and see what it does. What's the worst that can happen? 100%. That's no. See? That's really good. We're going to call that a day, guys. That's cheap as hell. It might not be as good as the Tech 2. Let's take a look. Let's compare. So this is basically just how you compare. Just snap them together like that. They don't snap together, but close as you can get. So it's 0.5% different. 0.5%. I mean, that's not bad. Optimal range kind of sucks. Tracking speed is what we're interested in. Yeah, see, that's 1.5. I mean, for the price you pay, I guess it's okay. We could do a faction CPU, but that's just a waste of money, I think. In all honest opinion. I like to have the T2 because I know that the meta ballistic controls are like retardedly expensive. And I'm talking like twice the price as a T2 for no reason. Probably because they're rare. Alright, so now we got some rigs. Now, we can go for gold, or we can go for some more tank. I'm thinking I'm going to go for gold. So we're going to go to engineering and put a CPU rig in. Wherever that is. Processor. There we go. That's overclock. So that gives me 93 CPU left. So if I have to, I can go back to the T2 slot that I just changed. So what I want to do here is I want to put a heavy newt on it, because I've got a lot of power grid left. But I don't have a whole lot of CPU. So let's go to engineering, energy destabilizers, energy sliders, whatever. Slap a Tech 2 on there because we've got the fitting. Uh-oh, we're over on our rigs. That's a problem. So because I put that low mid slot on there, I can go with a T1 rig. And I could probably sneak in a T1 rig here as well. Let's go back to rigs here real quick. Have a peek. Yeah, that's good. I can do this now, I think. I can do this T2, which is nice. Yeah, it all works out. So the only thing that you have to be aware of is that you're not going to be cap stable with this newt we're going, right? So with it off, you're 25%, and with it on, you're 5 hertz. So what we could do is do a NOS instead, but that doesn't take away as much cap. And depending on what you're fighting, this thing could be a lifesaver, okay? Because this shuts off tackle. Okay, you slap that on an interceptor, you're good as gold. See you later, nerd. Hit your no-scope module and off you go. And the interceptor pilot's just sitting there spamming his scram, hoping that he gets it again, and it's not, because by the time he gets enough cap, you'll be 100k away laughing at him. So we got some DPS, some nasty DPS. That's pretty good right there. Combined, 1300 DPS. I mean, this is a battleship after all. You should be able to do at least 1000 DPS in a faction battleship. But it's the tank that you like. You know, 1500 reps a second. I mean, taking that rig, take 2 rig out, dropped us down a hair, but not a whole lot. That's not bad. We got 70 across the board, which is what you like. You got a scram in there. Obviously, you know, you'd like a scram and a web, but I'd rather have more tank personally. You're going to be going slow. It's not going to matter. Stuff's going to want to tackle you. You got your no-scope module. You got your holy crap, I'm going to burn back the gate, hopefully, button. Because, you know, you're going to be hauling at 302 meters a second with that thing on. So, I mean, better watch out. Usually fit on battleships. See, that's a lie. I put it on my Gnosis all the time. Alright, so basically, we're all fit. So now we can add stuff. Add some extra drones. A set of Praetors. So where's our drone bay here? I think this is... I don't know. Where's our drone bay? I don't know. I guess it... I thought that was a thing for drone bay, but I guess not. So we're just going to put it in a couple of everything. We'll put in some light drones just because it's always good to have a set of light drones on board. 5. I'll throw in some guards. I actually kind of want to see what this thing does with guards. Yeah. 580. It's not terrible, I guess. But I mean, you see the difference is almost 100 more DPS just using heavies. Plus heavies move, you know, so you can recall them and move them, whatever. And they're pretty tanky. Ogres can sit there and take a smart bomb for a minute, especially with the snakes bonuses. You can really. Obviously, you're gonna want to get some ogres or some ogres. Geckos. Where are the geckos? They should be light if they're classified as a fighter. So I'm gonna have to search it. Put one gecko in there and watch me go. That one drone gets 655 DPS. That's bullcrap. Good thing you can't use 2 of those. Remember when you could use 2 of those? Pepperidge Farm remembers. And a lot of things died because of it. They let loose a plague upon the world and then they didn't quelch it for a long time, and it sucked because geckos were so overpowered. And now they're going extinct. So having one is a precious gem. 65 million ISK. So obviously you just had that in there for extra bling, you know, you don't need it. But geckos are pretty OP, they do omni damage, they track like a freaking T1 frigate, it's insane. So basically the only reason we're putting stuff in here is because we want to import it into EVE, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. With missiles, heavy missiles. Man, it's high damage. See, that's what you want. You want your Nova Fury. Wait. No, you don't want Nova. Nova's explosive. So you want Scourge and Inferno. We'll put some precision ones in here. Some Infernos and some Scourge there. And probably just some Faction Inferno. Probably not Faction Scourge. We'll just put a conservative amount in there. You know, just 1,000 of each. Just so that, you know, if you need to go pwn something, you can. So we're going to talk about faction missiles. So the thing that people don't understand sometimes is that the missile types. So you got your T2s, you got the precisions, and then you've got your Furies, which are higher damage, obviously. The precisions track small stuff a lot better, just because obviously because they're called precisions. They go a little bit farther than heavies or scourges, but I'm not sure. Let's just take a look. No, they go closer, huh? So they're closer range than the scourges, which is odd. I thought they were farther. Scourges go 47k. Huh. Alright, so if you want range, you're going to want to use faction. So for whatever damn reason, faction missiles go the farthest. Look at that. 63k almost. You know, that's pretty decent. I mean, you're still doing about the same DPS. A little less, but, you know, range. They don't track as well. Their explosion velocity is a lot slower. So good luck hitting anything with an afterburner. So that's that. So now we're gonna go to fittings. Oh, don't delete it. So Drake's, it's gonna be a Drake snake just because memorabilia. So the quickest, easiest way is to copy it to clipboard. EFT, obviously, it's the quickest way. Big list to fit. I'm in space right now, so that doesn't matter. We're going to go to Fitting tab in EVE, import and export, import from clipboard, and then there you have it. I just had some kind of message pop up. I'm not sure what it was, but so this is your fit in in-game version. So you can do buy all if you like. When you're sitting in the Dodixie Trade Hub, obviously in this piece of crap system, there ain't gonna be nothing for sale because Provi Market. Am I right? Am I right? So I personally am not going to buy the Infithus. I might someday. Who am I kidding? I'm going to go buy this right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll do some more of these. Catch you next time. Peace out.